Welcome to Pull the Pin Ready War Room Edition. I'm Jim, and with me as usual is Mike. And joining us today is the same not Chester Kane. I'm sure you remember him.
Fan favorite, baby. Fan favorite.
Alrighty, well, we all know how this works. Headlines from actual media sources, and we get to discuss them.
I
So we
probably
ready
should
to go?
hydrate first, though. 1 second,
What
sir.
what do you
I need
need?
to hydrate.
You need to hydrate? Yeah, you're looking a little pale.
All right, we're gonna go.
Alright. We ready, Mike?
Yep. Let's do it.
Alright, first one. Pentagon claims climate change just as big a national security threat as China.
What do you think about that, Kana?
Um. Well, first of all, the shit's been going on for years. It's not like I, we all know that China is probably the number one contributor of emissions, and then what is it? Russia number two. I don't feel that it's in comparison to fucking national security per se. All I'm going to say is if we're going to play a little climate change game, because my opinion doesn't matter, but all I'm going to say is and they didn't show up to that climate thing, whatever, and I don't think that you can compare and contrast national security with fucking climate change. So whatever. That's it.
Yeah. Um, I think the title is kind of misleading, but I kind of got what he was saying. You know, he just said that climate change is equally as important to us as China, the threat of China. And I was like, okay, I got it. I got that. But
Right.
to say that it's just as big, I was like, it's like in the military, right? When you're training on one specific thing. Yeah, but you're not training on something over here, but it's just as equally important. But right now, we're focused on one thing. You get what I'm saying? That's the way I took it. I didn't take it like, oh, the temperature in the air is equally a threat to us as China's threat to us. I didn't take it that way, but I can see why others would.
Well, if I can add on top of that, because I understand what you're saying is, but isn't China part of the climate change problem?
Yeah.
So
But
wouldn't that be like a
well,
double whammy?
some people would say San Francisco, Atlanta, New York is equally
Well, I think they
a
have no. I
problem.
I
Yeah,
think they have statistics about what percentage of pollution each country gives off.
right.
Yes, exactly.
And China, India, Russia, all those big ones that don't take part, they're the problems or they're the bigger
Right.
problems.
Right.
So if China's a big pollutant that affects climate change, then
Yes.
they're obviously a big pollute or problem with us security wise. That to me would make it a little bit more China's a problem because you may be able to
Mm.
take care of both of those things if you fix one of those things.
Yeah, with one button. Yes.
Well, you know, Mike, because your analogy kind of reminded me of how you were at the shooting range, qualification range,
Hmm.
and you're up at the 250, 300 meter target, and all of a
Yeah,
sudden that 50-meter target pops
yeah,
out.
yeah,
Now you're like,
yeah,
well, this is important, and I'm
yeah.
on it, but this is important because it's right next to me.
Right,
Hold
right.
up. Hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up. Hold up. They let Mike have a gun.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't carry any more.
Oh,
Only on a range with
right.
targets, not
Okay.
people. So
That kind of scares me.
yeah.
It's
So
funny you say that though, because we're supposed to go get one within the next month.
what?
Nice.
A
A
gun?
gun. Yeah.
Well, this got to be the wife's decision.
Let's just say, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Texas made it mandatory or what?
No. You remember where I lived before, man? If you have a house, you have to own
Right.
a firearm. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a cool law. I like that.
yeah, and I broke it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what if you're
Yep.
homeless?
Well, you don't have a home, so you
Right.
don't
So
have
you
to
don't
have
need
a
a firearm?
firearm. Right.
Oh. What if it's a
You
cardboard
sure?
box? Could that be your home?
As long as if you can establish residency in that cardboard box, then yes.
All
Do
right.
you share it
Awesome.
with you in the breadline too, or not? Or do you leave it at
Yeah,
home?
you can do it, but once you go in to get the bread, you gotta leave it outside in the bread box.
Bro.
Nobody will take it because they all have one.
That's right.
All right. You ready for the
What's
next one?
next?
Speaking of, Blinken concerned about invasion as Russia masses 100,000 troops near Ukraine border.
Here we go.
I'm definitely,
Russia.
I definitely, Mike. I'm interested. If this, 100,000 troops. You kind of keep saying
Yeah.
China, Russia. They posturing, nothing new. What do you think this is?
A show of force. You know, maybe they're gonna take something. They might attack or invade. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm not sitting here worried about it. Why? Not in my backyard.
Exactly.
Well, are there any?
I am going to be a stereotypical American on that one.
But think through that though. I mean, is there any Ukraine involvement that is going to affect us? I mean, are they going to find the servers from, Hillary's thing? I mean, are they going to, what's the deal? What's Russia going to? The pipelines, like what's the
I
game
don't
to
know.
lose here?
I agree with you, Mike. That shit ain't on my block. I don't care, man.
Yeah,
And Bulls-
I'm trying to figure out why we're so. I wish he was here on the show today. But yeah, I'm kind of trying to wonder why are we worried about that as Americans.
100,000 troops though blows my fucking mind. That's a lot. That isn't that
Maybe
the
they got
whole-
some bread down there they're giving out to the troops. That's why they're sending them down there. I don't know. You know, the Russian
that's
troops,
insane.
they are hurting. They are poor.
That is insane, man. But
What's so insane about it?
100,000 troops is insane to me.
Oh, okay.
On
Look at
the
how many
whole.
troops we have all over the globe, though.
Yeah, but we're talking the Ukraine border. Have you ever seen how big it is? It's not that big.
Well, you know what this tells me?
Well, it's not like they're all sitting down there like border patrol agents or something like that. I mean, they're on the border,
Right?
but
No,
they're
I
not
get
just-
it.
Yeah,
100,000 fucking. We need 100,000 goddamn fucking border patrol.
I think you
We're
think
not
you're missing
going-
the story here. The story is that 100,000 troops on the Ukraine border
They're about to invade.
is less troops over in Moscow. Means something else is unsecure.
yeah, and they're not worried about it.
Nice.
Yeah, they're not worried. But what do you think? You think something's going on?
I think this is more than just posturing, but I mean, I don't know. Like I said, between China and Russia and all the moves they're making, whether it's normal or not, I mean, you can't ignore them. You just can't completely ignore them. The China stuff is a lot bigger than Ukraine. I don't know what Ukraine brings to us. I don't know the angle here. I don't really know what Ukraine's angle ever was. But the China and Taiwan, and there's a lot more things at play there. So that worries me. But this one, I don't know. I don't really know what Ukraine brings. They used to be part of Russia, weren't they?
Yeah.
So,
But, I mean, okay, we'll see.
You know,
yeah.
there's shit going on. There's absolutely shit going on, but
We'll
Maybe
see.
they're just mapping out the border. Maybe that's all they're doing. They're just doing one big long human chain, like we are the world. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
it really isn't. We'll see. There is shit going on, and I mean,
All right. Well, speaking of things going on, let's segue into this next one. This is definitely going on. Taliban just held a military parade featuring U.S. military equipment abandoned during Biden's Afghanistan withdrawal. I believe this happened once already before, but apparently it's happened again.
I'm
That's
proud.
right. I think it's a good thing too.
I'm proud of them. I mean, they figured out a way to fill them things full of diesel fuel and shit. Good for them, man.
Burn it all up.
Giddy up. Getting
When
the
they have
truck
when they
out.
have to refill those tanks, they're gonna okay. You'll
They'll
see.
they'll be nice
They
monuments.
won't have the fuel for it.
No, they'll be nice monuments, is what they'll be, man. But yeah,
Exactly.
giddy
Well,
up.
again, I don't think you guys are seeing the angle here. There's a lot of unavailable camels now, or available camels.
Yeah.
Well, they'll be soon serviced back into the service, so it is what it is, man.
Crazy.
I think it's
Yeah.
funny, but whatever.
Well, I think it's a tool that that'll be used to try to smear Biden Harris. Uh, Once again, I don't think that. To be honest with you, I don't think that story, along with Russia's movements, is going to go away. I think they're prepping for the campaign trail in
Right.
2024. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll
but Mike,
see.
Russia, like, I don't know, the whole Russian narrative just confuses me because I don't know who's on what team with Russia. Like, I don't know. They for years they pump Trump, Russia, Russia, Russia. Now Biden's Russia. Like, I don't know who's on Team Russia anymore. I just don't know.
We'll see when the campaign starts,
Right.
and
Well,
who's gonna use it to smear the other side.
I'm gonna tell you, you don't even have to wait for the campaign to start because our next topic: 5 SEALs running for Congress rip Biden's Afghanistan retreat.
Oh, I wish I could talk to them.
It's,
And no one will really challenge them because they're looked at as heroes. So what would you have done? What would you have done better?
With what?
No, I would ask those guys, what would you have done? Given
They
the
probably have an answer,
circumstances.
though. They probably have an
Oh,
answer.
sure. I'm sure they have an answer. It's just like people on the street will have an answer. But the point is, you don't know that. They don't know the specifics about everything. That's why I say it's hard for me to, judge these guys because I don't know everything that was going on. So it's like, I'm not a Biden fan, but I just don't just jump on and start attacking them when I see something on the news. And that, to me, because they're running for office, that's what they're doing. It should say 5 former SEALs because if they're currently SEALs, then one, they shouldn't be running for office. 2, they shouldn't be talking about the commander in chief like that.
right.
Whether you like him or not. Yeah, thank
What
you.
the hell is
Thank
that?
you.
Who's got the coyote? This is probably one of my favorite ones because it's awesome. And number 2, I worked with a couple of these SEALs, so it cracks me up very, 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 very bad. And I do believe they do have answers if you were to question them on what they would have done differently. And I think that you're both veterans, so it wouldn't blow your mind as to the answers that they would give you for what they would have done differently. So, and it's not my place to say what they've done differently, but like I said, I worked with a couple of these guys, and I'm actually proud of them, and I think it's awesome that they're coming out and they're going to run for Congress. I think it's awesome. I think that it would. It's weird because I have mixed feelings on strictly military people running for office because their bias is going to be strictly military when it comes to our country. But what the hell is going on in the background? Because it's fucking nuts.
Is that your mic, your TV in the back?
No.
Not mine.
You still hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's loud as hell. It's like
Really?
very distracting.
Yeah, the TV.
So, anyways, no,
It's been on the whole time.
Yeah, we could
I
hear it
think
then.
it's-
It's just
it
he was
just
lost
got
in his
louder.
thought and get distracted.
Oh.
No, it just got louder for a minute. But no, I think there's pros and cons for them to do what they're doing, and I commend them. And I think the future is very interesting as to what's going to happen. And all I'm going to say about that.
Well, I want to tell you, Mike, going back to your point, just because someone's in the military doesn't mean they're a hero. You have sides too. If you're on the
Okay.
wrong team, you're not a hero.
Okay. Okay.
You haven't seen that. I mean, Flynn was arrested. I mean, he's in the military. You know what I mean? You could go through a whole bunch of people on the wrong team that were
No.
disrespected, but then you can go on the other side and say, oh, we can't talk about this guy because he served. You know what I mean? It all depends what team you're on if you're a hero or not.
Well,
But-
I think the way Mike's looking at it is they're Navy SEALs.
Well, I understand that. Yeah, I
and
understand
they-
that.
they
But if
kind
they're
of
on the
are
wrong
heroes.
team, they're still going to be wrong. So, but the other thing I want to talk about, like what you said about with Biden, it's okay that, you know, he went in there and did what he did, barring anything classified. Like even when we went on missions, right? We would go on a mission and we'd come back and do what? We'd debrief. You know, we do that stuff because what went right, what went wrong, how do we do it better next time? So even if Biden did stuff and there's a reason for it, you just can't leave people in the dark, especially when they're criticizing it. Be like, hey, with the information we had, this is what we did. Unless it's classified, then, you know, but they tend to ignore it like it didn't happen. Oh, this is the greatest, what do they call it? The greatest evacuation ever. Like, what? You know, nobody's talking about your evacuation. They're talking about what led to the evacuation. So just come out and say, hey, this is what we did because this is the information we had. So we abandoned the airbase first, and then we did this. You know what I mean? Unless it's classified. That's my point. Is it's okay he did it his way, but tell the people why you did it if you can.
Right. But the fact of the matter is it obviously could have been done differently, but that's not really what the headline's about. So I don't think that we need to get into
Yeah, Mike, that is really loud. Is it because are we deaf or what?
I fucking said it was loud as hell.
Yeah, it seems like it's getting louder. I'm
Hey.
talking over it.
I'm being serious, guys. Hey, give me that remote. Because I could barely hear it.
Well, that's weird. Maybe it's just your mic picking it up really loud.
No, that's
No,
possible.
it is. It's got to be because it's loud.
Yeah, because like it just felt like it was getting louder. No worries. We're about done here anyways, right?
You still hear it?
No. I don't hear it at all now.
That thing is on like low.
Yeah, maybe they just give us 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
Tell them to go take a
It's,
bath.
it's the mic though.
It probably,
mic.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's very sensitive mic and it can pick up longer distance. Yep.
Yep.
No doubt. But either way, technically challenged or not. But that was my point about what you were saying, Mike, is even if a Navy SEAL can probably criticize Biden's plan because they know how to plan. So if Biden says, well, no, you're wrong because of this, then a Navy SEAL probably say, okay, that makes sense.
You know how to plan what?
The evacuation, the withdrawal.
Okay.
You don't think Navy SEALs do that like for a living?
I don't know.
Are you were in the army? Well, you were in the army.
I'm pretty sure Navy SEAls go in and do
That's
rescue
right.
missions, evacuations, and all that stuff a lot.
Yeah, but they don't have to evacuate. They've never evacuated military bases of that magnitude with civilians and other military personnel.
Sure, but you don't have to get past.
To me, Navy SEAls they're built to kill. That's it. When you
Well,
talk about a
but-
military
No,
strategy of that magnitude, no, I don't. I don't
They're
know.
not-
but
You don't
I
have to
think-
get past the basics, though, Mike. The basics.
Oh my
We have a military base. We have a secure facility. Why
Yeah.
would we operate in a country? Why would we completely release a secure facility to do a mission? We have a secure facility. Any fool can know that. Why would we give up that base because it's already secured? We don't go into the commercial airport to secure it when we have a secure facility.
Are Navy SEAls going to announce when they're going to fucking do it too?
Yeah, there's just basic elements of that
There's a
just
lot of-
didn't
there's
make
a
any
lot of
sense.
fucking-
And if he explained them, I'd say, okay, I get it.
There's a lot
Yeah,
of stuff.
but-
There's a lot
I
of
mean-
shit that could be done different.
Yeah, but I mean, we're sitting here talking about Biden. He didn't do any of it. He had military people doing that for him.
No, but he's the commander in chief.
Yeah, I
Right?
got that. I got
Okay.
that. So if anything, they should be criticizing the general. And I got it. When you're in the seat, you take the good, you take
Yeah.
the bad.
Sure.
But my
Right.
whole thing is for those Navy SEALs to say Biden. I'm like, oh, you're talking about your generals who are in charge. That's
And
what they're
you know-
doing.
And you know what, Mike? See, I totally agree with that. You know, but my problem is the moment Biden opens his mouth and takes the credit for an evacuation, It's just, I mean, it's just disingenuous to me. Like,
So,
okay,
That's
talk
what they
about your
do.
evacuation.
so the commander in chief
that's what
said
they
we're going to
do.
be out.
Well, I know that's what they do. We're not talking about what they do or not. We're talking about is right or not.
So the commander in chief. I mean, I don't really want to get into it, but the commander in chief said we're going to be out by the fucking 31st. Period. So, is that on the commander in chief or is that on the fucking general and the generals?
I don't have. Do you have an issue with him saying that?
Well, don't say it's not on him. It's on the fucking commander in chief then.
No, I'm asking. Do you have a problem with him saying we're
Yes,
gonna be
I
out
have
by
a
the
fucking problem with him saying that.
Why?
It's fucking ridiculous. You don't tell your fucking enemies. You don't tell people when you're gonna do shit. So when you fucking when you were going to war, oh, we're gonna come in there on the 31st and we're gonna come at you. No, you don't fucking tell them that shit.
Well, you don't tell them the exact time, but you can still say we'll be out by then. You know, you could say we'll be out by this date, and then just
we're
surprise.
Okay, yeah, but that's not how it went down. It went
No,
down.
I think it was a complete mess, and I think he deserves all the criticism. Whether the generals too, the generals should be fired.
Mess. He fucked up, and
let's see how this country works
How
when
did he
Navy
mess up?
SEAls are running it.
You don't. The number one thing is you don't dictate and say this is when we're going to be out.
Why not?
What do you mean? Why not? Because then fucking people can plan ahead and do shit. So you don't think like the attack and shit that happened.
Well, here's the thing, Mike. Mike, you almost can't argue this because Kaner's got a point. You don't say we're going to be out on the 30th, and then you sneak out on the 25th and act like being out on the 30th made a difference. I think it was just a poor plan, and they should have just taken their time and did it right instead of trying to meet a deadline. And I don't know. I just think they should have never gave up the airbase first. That was just stupid.
You just don't divulge shit like that. Period. Yes, we're going to be out of there. We will be out of there. Yes. Okay, that's fine. But I'm going to be out of there tomorrow. Okay. Well, then we'll fucking car bomb your asses right now. Then you can't divulge certain fucking shit in the military. You can't divulge that stuff. And I mean, you guys are veterans and you should know that shit. It's like Geraldo fucking being over there and telling the fucking Taliban or whatever, oh, well, we're going to be here right now, so come fucking kill us. No, you can't do that shit. There's sensitive information.
Hey, I got another topic that's got sensitive information, so let's move forward before this gets too heated.
Yes.
This one you'll probably be able to talk about too. Marvel Studios executive says she will fight to put trans characters in superhero films.
I would say that Mike should answer this because of his surgeries.
Transformation?
Well, because of his surgeries, I think that this is a topic right up his alley.
Is that why he did them? To get a superhero job?
You have trans actors in the movies already, so it's just natural that it's gonna happen. You know?
Yeah, but for you, I mean, does that make you proud?
What?
Well, because of your surgeries and all that, does it make you proud that they're recognizing?
Absolutely.
Go, Brandon.
He used to be white too. You know that, right? Mike used to be white.
No, but you know what?
He's got a really good doctor.
I don't. First of all, like, why does it have to be trans? I mean, if you're trans, you're trans. Whatever. Whatever. Does it have to be fucking? Do you have to stamp it on your fucking forehead so that people are? I mean, okay, you're trans. Do your thing. Be a superhero. Whatever. That's cool. Do what you got to do. But like, I don't think that it needs to be. I don't know. It's just
more career opportunities for you.
I accept people for who they are. You don't have to tell me and fucking sugarcoat you're a trans for me to be your boy or your girl or whatever the fuck you is at this moment in time. I don't. It's just you want. I mean, if you want your own market. In all actuality, all I want is veterans to have a Veterans Day month. That's all I want. Give trans their fucking trans month. Give the fucking gays their gay month. Give asexuals their month. Let veterans have November as Veterans Month.
So you know what's weird to me is the whole Marvel Studios executive fight to put a trans character in superhero. Like, why not just make a whole new movie
Just
with this trans character and see how it does?
why
If people
just
don't
put
like it, don't want it, you'll know. Feedback is really important.
right, but just put the fucking character in there. What the fuck is the difference?
Why do they have to fight to put him in? Like, who cares?
Well,
I
who are
don't
they
know, Mike.
fighting with?
Mike, what do you think? Just like Russia
Is-
on my backyard?
Yeah, but no, I think if this is one of the things that we talked about when you talk about politics, if people don't see it's coming, you know what I mean? It's coming because it's like that's one of the hot topics of today, the trans movement. So it's like I
Right.
said, you look at some movies, it's like, oh yeah, there's a trans, you know,
Right.
and
I'm telling you.
yeah, and they'll put it out there too. But I'm not one to look at like, I don't know, maybe it's me. I could just tell when it's a trans person. You
That's
know?
your superpower.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I
But,
mean,
I'm like,
you should be able to tell your own. So I mean, I get it.
yeah. But my thing is, like in this day and age, you have to fight as an executive to get them in their movies.
Oh,
But 10, 15 years from now, nah.
Well, you're right. It's going to wear off. And at some
Yeah.
point, it's going to be like, who cares? Like, people don't really care now. It's just the fact that they keep bringing it up like we're supposed to care. You know, it
right.
doesn't really.
Good point. Good point.
What if you didn't even know it was a trans?
Right.
Right.
Like, what if you didn't know? Why would it matter? Like, did the movie change
Exactly.
because it's a boy actually looking like a girl? Like,
Exactly.
so unless they're saying I'm a trans, like if they're putting the vocabulary in there to make it normal, who cares? Okay, great. You know, that's the problem is that they're trying to use movies to dictate culture. And that's where I think people get a little upset because they're trying to normalize things that aren't normal in culture.
Yeah, but they can't do anything to you that you don't allow.
Well, to me, the difference is if I don't accept that as culture, I don't watch the movie. So the market will dictate whether your nonsense is nonsense or not.
Right.
I agree.
Push
I
it in
agree,
there. Who
100%.
cares? I'm not going to watch the movie.
Right.
I mean, there was a movie
Right.
that I think Kaner was in, the Brokeback Mountain one. I never watched that.
Hey,
I
but
wasn't
that's the
interested.
thing. You know,
I-
either you, but yeah, and I agree with you. But I don't watch the super fucking hero movies anyway, so it doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck if Jimbo the fucking Gaybotron is in it or not, and I'm not watching it. Period. It doesn't matter to me.
Right. I mean, unless there was some nudity, then you'd be like, oh, I got to see that.
If they
Right.
showed like a huge fucking yes.
Right.
But I did watch that movie Finch the other day, and that's a pretty interesting, and that goes to like reviews. We were talking about how critics review the fucking shit.
No, you don't believe critics like media now. They're not even worth.
Well, like that movie Finch, I just watched it the other day. It got like a fucking 5 review. It's a Tom Hanks movie, and it's actually kind of a cute movie, and kids can watch it along with adults, and it's actually a pretty.
Are there any trans in the movie?
No, Jim's not in it. No.
Oh,
But
okay.
I didn't get that
robots
offer.
and shit. And I would give it an 8. If I was a critic, I would give it an 8. But
But you're saying if Tom Hanks was a trans, you would still give it an 8.
I don't. But I'm saying that I don't give a fuck if Tom is or isn't a trans.
I know, but if he, you rated the movie, so
Oh,
but
I'd
if he
give
was
it
a
a
trans,
9. I would give it a 9 if he was a trans. Yeah.
oh, okay.
I don't have to. I don't have to be in the group. You know, I mean, I don't have to be a trans to appreciate a trans movie. You just got to be able to relate to the struggle. It's got to be somewhat believable. It doesn't have to be like completely, holy cow, that's so true. But people have to relate to it. And I
Right.
think that's why, you know, when you see like these the gender swaps now, you know, the Ocean's 11, the Ghostbusters, and it's not that people don't like to see
Right.
women characters. I mean, they're
Right.
all over, but they just don't relate to that. You've
Well-
already got a precedent started. You don't relate to that. Start a new movie.
If we're gonna go there,
Yeah, but when you talk about Hollywood, nah, they didn't.
Hollywood's
Well, that's
how
because
it
they're
is.
lazy. They don't want to write a new movie. They just want to rewrite an old movie and change things because that's easy.
Well, I know.
Yeah, because that movie worked. It goes back to another episode
But
where we were
the
talking
gender
about the
ones didn't
education
work.
system.
But the gender
No,
swap
the
ones
original,
didn't. The original one,
Right.
yes.
it worked.
I
So
know.
now they thinking it's gonna work
Right.
again with this whole, let's say, the Me Too movement. Now you're gonna put all these women in there, Ocean's 11 or whatever, the Ghost,
Right.
that one. So
Okay.
people think, oh yeah, well, let's go see the women
Right.
heroes and whatever.
So check this out, though.
You know?
Well, check this out. If they do fucking Charlie's Angels Part 3 and it's fucking all guys, really? Who the fuck's gonna watch that bullshit?
Ain't nobody gonna watch that, right?
No. So I guess for me to my standpoint, because I think we're ending the show, is men have their role, women have their fucking role. Nobody's gonna watch Charlie's Angels. The fucking they're not gonna watch us.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. People have to relate to it.
Right. No,
You know, they have to relate to the movie.
Be Charlie's Angels. It ain't happening, man. Would it be funny as fuck? Yeah, it would. It would be fucking hilarious.
Well, that's a good segue to our final topic that is somewhat hilarious. I'm not sure who this was, but I'm not going to make any guesses. But man tried to force KFC employee to reopen restaurant at gunpoint.
Was he white or
hungry
black?
ass dude.
Was he white or black?
I don't know.
Mike?
I don't know. I don't know, but I can see that happening because I used to love KFC back in the day.
Well, he was probably drunk.
But you didn't carry a gun, Mike, so.
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, as a cop, I did. I did this before, but not with KFC. I did it with Dunkin' Donuts when I was a cop. Try to close the doors on me. You must be out your mind.
You see this badge? You see this badge here? Forget the gun. Look at here's my badge.
I want my donut and coffee, motherfucker.
What year was that? Oh yeah, Statue of
Oh
Limitations.
wait a minute, man. They used to give donuts free if they closed the door, so you probably be standing at the window or the back door.
They didn't do it that
dumpster.
well. They didn't give
Really?
donuts for it. Yeah.
He was at the dumpster waiting for that fucking bag of donuts.
Yeah, because they started making rules where they couldn't hand them out. They had to throw them in the garbage.
Yes.
You know, it's because some employees would also take some home and they would start selling them. So they would make extra batches or whatever.
Right.
You know, that towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of smart. And it is.
But see, that's something management could have fixed. Management could have fixed that.
True.
You know what I mean?
When you're
Inventory.
paying your managers $12 an hour, they don't care.
Right. Well, then that's the problem. Then Dunkin' Donuts themselves. So their solution was to not feed hungry people. Sad. Not that donuts are really good for.
You're making me hungry now, boys. What the fuck?
Well, I'm talking about just food in general, Mike. You know how much food is thrown away?
I got that.
Homeless
But
people.
You said hungry people. I was like, yeah, but why don't they just get there earlier and buy some donuts then?
Because they ain't got no money. They're usually poor and hungry. If you're hungry, you ain't got no money.
I do.
Does Kaner look hungry to you?
No comment.
I'm about as hungry as Mike is, bro. And that's what it is. The kudos to my hometown, Red Lobster, Applebee's. They all donate to our homeless shelter, all their leftover stuff, which is pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, I know some of the grocery stores around here donate to the veterans.
Really?
Because I know a lady who hands this stuff out. She brings it to veterans. Most of it's like borderline expired.
Right. No, I get it.
It's still. Yeah.
But no, that's the way it is with like Applebee's, like Red Lobster. There's a few others, but one of my buddies works at the homeless shelter, and I think that I give them kudos for the fact that they do that, and it's awesome.
Yep.
And,
speaking of homeless, we're done ready to end this one.
Sure.
So, Kaner, again, thank you for blessing us with your beautiful, long, flowing hair. Mike, good to see you here. Nice beard. Anyways, thank you guys out there for watching and joining us. Thanks for getting involved. Reach out if you're a veteran. PullThePinReady.com. Come get on the show. If you want to share your opinion, we are more than welcome to listen to it. And until then, Godspeed.
Hey, and pull the pin.
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.